Hey, welcome back. Today we're making 7-Up biscuits. You can tell there's already 2 missing. I wonder why. You better hold on because we're making a fantastic, super easy recipe. Here we go, at home with Susie. Hi friends and family, welcome back to At Home with Susie. We are in the kitchen again and we're going to do and make our favorite 7-Up biscuits. Now, the biscuits are so fast, so delicious. You're gonna love this recipe. You're gonna wanna keep it and use it all the time with your family. It's only 3 ingredients in the biscuits. There's one more additional ingredient that you add to the pan when you put the biscuits in the pan to bake. Well, I have my oven set at 425. It's ready to go. It's like screaming at us saying, put the biscuits in the oven as soon as possible. Because my husband is over there waiting for a good biscuit, and I have my butter and raspberry jam ready to go on the biscuits. I'm going to also share a couple little tips and tricks along the journey that will help you with this process. So I hope you enjoy it. Watch this, it's so easy. I've got my trusty little Williams-Sonoma green bowl. It's nice and big. It calls for 4 cups of Bisquick. That's right. Bisquick is the magic food. Let me get my box for you. Here it is. Bisquick. Now, I've tried other pancake mixes and used that with this recipe, and I wasn't quite as satisfied. So we want great satisfaction, and Bisquick is the way to go. So let's use 4 cups of Bisquick. This huge Mamba Jumba huge glass bowl is 4 cups, so I'm going to dump that right in there. And the second ingredient is 1 cup of sour cream. Here's my sour cream. Just drop that down in there. Get it all out. We need to get every last drop out of there. Get in there. Okay, we got that. The next ingredient, believe it or not, is from the title of the name of the biscuit. It's called 7-Up. Yep, we use 7-Up. Use a good 7-Up that's fresh, where there's still some carbonation in it. I have used Sprite, and I wasn't as satisfied either. So I like Bisquick and 7-Up. So let's get 1 cup of 7-Up. So we had 1 cup of sour cream. Now we have 1 cup of 7-Up, pouring right on top of the sour cream and the Bisquick mix. There it is. Now we're going to stir this. The interesting thing about this particular dough is that it's super sticky. And you're going to think, something's wrong with this dough. Well, in a minute we're going to put it onto my little flat mat that's on the counter. We're going to add a little bit of Bisquick on the mat. You can use flour, but I just put more Bisquick on the mat. Then I dump this dough on the mat. So when this gets incorporated, and you want to make sure it is incorporated, obviously you don't want to over stir something like this, but we want to make sure there's no dry crumbs at the bottom or sticky sour cream on the edges of the bowl. You just keep stirring, keep stirring. You can see what I'm doing. All right, now that I have it all entirely mixed, I'm going to dump it on here with a little bit of Bisquick on top. So I've set aside some Bisquick in a bowl, and let's just sprinkle some of this down on the mat. Now, if you weren't with me, I'd be smearing it all over my countertop because I love my countertop here. I'd have a clean countertop. I'd put this down on the countertop. But because you're with me, I'm going to try and be a little neater today. I've got some of the Bisquick down on my mat. Let's dump this sticky dough into the Bisquick powdered mat. This is almost the consistency of cookie dough. I wouldn't put your finger in there and eat it though. Now when it comes to cookie dough, that's a whole nother story. Give me a spoon and let's just go for it. My son Ryan and I, we like the cookie dough. Well, I think the whole family does. And my grandkids. Definitely my grandkids. Oh, I got a story about that. I'll tell you one day about my grandson Judah and us making chocolate chip cookies at my house when I lived in Seattle. Don't live in Seattle anymore. I do have some family that's up in Kirkland. I have family here where I live, which is someplace in Florida. And then I have my son who's up in Atlanta. Now we've got this mixture that is very sticky, and I'm going to have to handle it with my hands. But before I do, let's sprinkle a little bit more of this Bisquick mix on top to act like a dry flour on top of it so I can start messing with it. So let's get a little bit going on. And you're not kneading it like you would a bread dough, but you're kind of working it so that you can touch it. Pull it away from the mat. And I think I have some in my hair already. So, oh well, let's save that for leftovers. Let's just do this. Now I'm going to flip it a couple times. That's it. Not much more than that. Now, I'm going to squish this down to about 1 inch thick. It's getting a little sticky, so I'll add some more on top. All right, I'm going to use a glass to cut these biscuits out. You may have a biscuit cutter, but I know a lot of people who don't have a biscuit cutter. So I'm just going to show you that you can use the typical glass. This is my wider mouth juice glass, and I'm going to put it first into some of the flour, and I may even put a little bit of the, well, it's Bisquick mix on top. And I'm going to cut them and place them into this pan that I have right here. Let's move it a little closer to us so you can see it. I have a 9 by 11 lasagna pan that I've melted 1 stick of butter. That's right, 1/2 cup of butter in the bottom of this pan. So all this goodness is floating around. Yeah. You know what you could do? You could probably put cinnamon down in here if you wanted to change it up, or some Italian seasoning to make more of an Italian biscuit. Well, let's just make the classic one. So I've got this ready to go, and I'm going to cut out a biscuit, really give it a turn because this is sticky stuff and I have to get my hand under it or I will lose control and it will totally come out of shape if I don't keep it like this and plop it right down inside that butter. See how many biscuits we can get out of this one batch. Right. I don't really have enough on my mat to cut out a big one, so I'm just going to try and bring all this back together again and try and get a few more out of this dough. It is so tacky and sticky. And listen, at the end, when you clean this up, do not use a wet washcloth. Don't put this in the sink. Your flour is going to be so difficult to remove, and it's going to be all gummy in the sink. So I have a couple tricks with that. It's better off to just go ahead and use a paper towel first, a dry paper towel, and then once you get most of the crud off, then you can do a wet paper towel, and then you can really clean it off. All right, so I've formed this into more of a piece to be able to cut out a few more biscuits. Oh, that's sticking. Let's see if we can get maybe one more. Squish it down in that corner. Hey, I'm just going to make a strange shaped one that goes right on the end of the pan. Someone will eat that, believe me. Well, we'll just leave this as is, and I'm going to move this aside. And I'm going to wash my hands, and then we're going to stick this in the oven. Now you can see the biscuits in the pan with all the butter running in the bottom. Let's drop them into the oven. Remember, at 425 for about 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. At 12 minutes, I start watching it to make sure that they're not burning on the top. But these guys will swell up and squeeze together, and they are delicious. So let's pop them in the oven. We'll be back in a minute to eat them. Don't you wish you were here? So these 7-Up biscuits just came out of the oven. They are amazing. Take a look at this pan full of delicious golden biscuits. I did cook them for 15 minutes. It was exactly 15 minutes in my oven. And I thought of something. Since this is running at 425 in the oven, I could actually have a sheet pan with bacon. And if you watch my video on how to cook bacon in the oven, you could put the bacon and the biscuits in the oven. Maybe it changes the timing a little bit on everything, but Both of them are about 15 minutes in the oven. While they're in the oven, you could be making scrambled eggs, pancakes, waffles, and have a great meal. Really only in about a half an hour. So I'm gonna dive in with this metal spatula, see if I can pull one out. Ooh, they're still really piping hot. I don't know if you can see the steam on those, but whoa, look at that beauty. Let's grab another one. Here's another one. Whoa. Now, here's a trick to cutting into your biscuits. If you take a knife and just try and cut into your biscuit, you're going to kind of destroy all the fluffiness inside. Instead, take a fork. I turn mine upside down, and I poke it along the edge in the middle, and I make the little indentation so that the top will pull apart from the bottom without being ripped. Let me see if I can hold this without burning my hand. But I usually poke it along the edge in the middle, all the way around. It just wants to flake apart. Now, oh, look at that. Oh my Lord. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna leave it in my hand. Let's douse it with salted butter. I love good old salted butter. Just spread it on there. Now there was butter in the bottom of the pan and that just soaked up into all the biscuits, but I don't care. Get that butter on there. Perfect like this. Drizzle a little honey. How about some raspberry preserves? Got this at Aldi's. Maybe I can get some of this on here. Oh, I'm telling you, the smell is so great. Now all I need is bacon. Will you look at that? Fantabulous. Here goes the bite. Just don't want to burn my tongue. Oh, these are better than any grandma ever made. 3 ingredients, plus the butter in the bottom of the pan. Ooh, it's hot. Oh. I think I need a towel. The best biscuits in the world. 7-Up biscuits, you gotta make them. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Hey, the more subscriptions I get, the better it is. The more likes I get, the more I like you. And if you can comment, I love to hear. Would you tell me what you'd like to see me make here at Home with Susie? Love you guys. Take care. Bye for now.